sovereignty, tax relocation, business registration, and new projects for building new community. In the private city of Próspera, Bitcoin district is being built very soon. Please welcome, we will start in 5 minutes. I will present to you what and why and what can you do in Bitcoin district Próspera. Sovereignty, local education, or I will use this opportunity with my fans to tell you about Sunday brunch at 11 a.m. in Opero. Barbecue. Lot of food, lot of music, some panel discussions, the best Sunday satellite event at 11 in Opero. This is not a stand-up comedy, this is a serious presentation. But it's good, it's good. The less eyes, the less stress. Welcome, Nostriga, I am free, are you free? Preach what your t-shirt is saying. You just have those slogans on t-shirts. Inflation is theft. JP meaning John Paul. Lost cause peace, so not a hope in hell. You can extend what you think of the person, extrapolate. Fight, hope, love. Nostriga. Inflation is theft. Okay, everyone, I will thank you for coming. This is translation? No, this is my speech. Okay, so you don't have to scream. You hear me like this as well properly. Okay, good. But I will scream so maybe I can get some attention from others. And I will tell you about the new project, which we will not doing a big announcement. It's a soft launch of Bitcoin District in Próspera. My name is Tomek, and I'm coming to this Bitcoin space many years ago. I came from the libertarian space. And very often when we were looking at charts to prove that free market is best, we were looking at the countries with the top GDP per capita or the freest country by economic freedom index. And we were looking, the top 3 countries in the world are Switzerland, New Zealand, Hong Kong, Singapore, and Australia. And the bottom 5 are Iran, Zimbabwe, Venezuela, Cuba. Where would you like to live? In a free or less free? It was one of the basic, and it is, I think, one of the basic macro arguments for more freedom. But what I also noticed, that when you take a look at the top nations by GDP per capita, you can also notice this: Luxembourg, Macau, Ireland, Singapore, Qatar, United Arab Emirates. Those are not big states. Everybody knows that what per capita means. You don't have to be a huge country to have its population rich. And actually the majority of the top earning nations are either city-states or small jurisdictions. We don't have to think about world as just a world of countries and big countries and maybe European unions or other unions. There can be different formula for state organization, and Próspera, to which I will come through, is actually experimenting in such. The concept of city-states is as long as human civilization, right? Athens and lots of Greek polis were basically cities which were collaborating with each other, but they had legal autonomy, military autonomy, they had their own laws. Thus they could kind of be decentralized and let their citizens to choose better city to live with. And actually throughout history, free cities, small jurisdictions, where is my mouse? Where is my mouse? Venice. For few centuries, it was leading force of European trade, and it was not a country with large territory or resources. It was a marine city with beautiful port and area to have water trade. Hanseatic League, another interesting example from medieval Europe. It was not a state, it was basically a league of cities, when each of them, they had autonomy from their hosting state. Danzig or Hamburg, they were not responsible to the king, they were not responsible to the league, but league was protecting them. They were basically free, autonomous cities, which at the time, it was around 14th century AD, were the richest cities in Europe, in Northern Europe. Hong Kong. Notable example of the history, the city with autonomous laws separate from China. For years it was under British lease. Now it's not, it still has 50 years warranty of autonomy from China, and it has different legal system, different tax framework than the rest of China. And we all know how this is the history of progress of last 50 years of Hong Kong. Similar situation, Dubai. It's also a private city, startup city, you can call them charter city, with different zone, protection by host country, by autonomous in their legal frameworks. So we can see, and the previous also chart was showing kind of that small jurisdictions are, on average, they have 3 times GDP per capita than non-small jurisdictions. Why is it so? Why small jurisdictions win? Not only in economy, but maybe in other areas also. Why? Because they have concentrated resources, whether it's the resource is location for trade, or the resource is some specific earth mineral, they can specify in this area, and they can focus on this zone of economic. They are usually trade and finance hubs because they have limited resources. They don't have, maybe they're dependent on trade and innovation because they don't have their own wood or stones. They need to trade. They need to become trade and finance hubs, and most of them were. But also what's important, the smaller government is, not by its scope, but by its size also, is the more flexible it is, and more quickly it can adapt to the changing world, the less burdensome is the organization of that country. So that often attracts entrepreneurs and makes small jurisdictions more attractive for organizing such things as small private cities. I asked also AI to give me one slide why small jurisdictions win, and AI said that the data speaks for itself. So it presented the GDP of small jurisdictions and GDP of top GDP per capita large jurisdictions. And then also AI told me, gave some points on talent attraction, governance, quality, and in all categories. This is probably fake data, but it also says that small jurisdictions win. So it's also something that not only people at such conferences notice, but in general, it is considered that it is noted already by nation states. And over the last 20 years, there was a trend in various countries to open special economic zones. And those special economic zones already have 2 times more GDP per capita than non-special economic zones by hosting countries. And the open zone map lists over 1,000 such special autonomous places within certain countries with different laws and regulations. But also for Bitcoin adoption, this is Madeira. This is one of the places in Europe where you can actually live on Bitcoin standard, buy property with real estate. There is enough adoption of Bitcoin. There is community. There is Bitcoin-friendly mayor. Dubai has also special laws protecting crypto industry and making opening their businesses easy. Is one of the most Bitcoin-friendly jurisdictions. This is Lugano in Switzerland, which have Bitcoin-friendly mayor. They have Plan B Lugano. They try to experiment with their governance, with their federal governance on using Bitcoin. And also Salvador, which we know used to have lay of Bitcoin. Those are all small jurisdictions. What I want to say is that we as Bitcoiners, we probably should rather focus on small jurisdictions, municipalities or cities, rather than trying to convince the United States or China to adopt Bitcoin. In 2013, Honduras opened a window in their constitution, actually, and they put into constitution the creation of ZEDES, Special Economic Zone for Economic Development and Employment. 13 of such ZEDES were ratified, 3 of them were created, and one of them on the tropical island next to Honduras, on Roatan, is bought by a private company, and they basically have autonomy similar to what Hong Kong had with China for the previous 100 years. And they created the private city called Próspera. And over here you can find Próspera booth. AmityAge is registered in Próspera, Blink is registered in Próspera, Gentry is registered in Próspera. Próspera is already a jurisdiction for Bitcoin businesses, individuals to register themselves as tax residents or incorporate their company. So it's basically a startup zone with high legal regulation and tax autonomy. Próspera acts as a platform of governance. They call themselves layer 1. If we say that layer 0 of governance is Honduras criminal law, which applies in Próspera, and the land, Próspera is layer 1. They provide conflict resolution, tax registration, business incorporation, and they want to do just that. They expect other layers to come, entrepreneurs like me and maybe some of you, to come and bring them citizens. They basically imagine being Hong Kong of the Caribbean, but they want to outsource the growth to next layers. And we want to build such next layer for Bitcoin industry. Because what I think, being in Próspera, meeting people, learning how it works, it looks like it's the most Bitcoin-friendly jurisdiction in the world today. This is the first one that accepted Bitcoin officially as unit of account. Since Salvador retreated from their deal, they are the only Bitcoin jurisdiction today in the world where you can pay your residency, you can pay your taxes in Bitcoin. Majority of businesses accept Bitcoin. Management of Próspera is orange-pilled. Próspera as a company owns a lot of Bitcoin. Bitcoin Center is there, AmityAge is there, Blink, Gen3. I think today, by all standards, Próspera is the most Bitcoin-friendly jurisdiction for individuals and for businesses. That's where we are coming with Bitcoin district. So how it works basically, as I said, in Próspera, Honduras criminal law applies, the civil law is common law, and you as business can choose regulatory framework that applies to you. So it's a very decentralized model of governance for which Próspera serves as a platform of security and international deals, which main one is with Honduras. There is 2.5% VAT, only 5% personal income tax, and 1% corporate income tax. And it's territorial tax, so you pay only for income made in Próspera. What's also interesting, I forgot what I wanted to say. But basically 7.5%, 8% of the tax, which is territorial, and being just 90 days in Próspera, make you eligible to become a tax resident. So living there for 90 days, you can become Honduran tax resident and then sign off from your own hosting country. So that's where we are coming as layer 2 to Próspera, to orange pill it even more and try to figure out what Bitcoiners can take from such opportunity of having such startup city on the very early stage, which is the most Bitcoin friendly you could imagine. That's why we opened the Bitcoin district. And it's an open project. You are all invited to participate and help us figure out what Bitcoiners need. What we figured now is that we will help with residency for businesses, individuals, provide a concierge and help with banking and any other paperwork that people might need if they want to tax relocate to Próspera or register their business. We will host hackathons and accelerators. We also host retreats, and the first one is in... Okay, I will come to that. You can check actually thebitcoindistrict.com and sign up for waitlist for more info at thebitcoindistrict.com. And the first such retreat where you could come and meet us and spend your week in Próspera is right after adopting Bitcoin in November on Roatan, November 18 to 25. It's not a conference. It's a slow retreat. We stay there. There is enough accommodation for all of us. We do beach barbecues. We meet Próspera, see how it is easy or difficult to become their tax resident, meet other Bitcoiners, organize open mic. And the second event at the end of January before Plan B Salvador. In January, the weather is a bit better. It's the best actually weather on Roatan because in November might be a bit rainy. And this is actual conference which lasts 2 weeks. So right before Plan B Salvador, if you plan your Central American trip, consider Próspera. We'll have a conference, we will have a poker tournament by Tone Vase, we will have a hackathon from Pleb Lab, we'll have a tennis tournament, golf tournament, poker tournament. It's a 2-week multi-event. You don't have to come for all of it, but it's the best if you spend this time in some type of Bitcoin pop-up city. So the name for it is Bitcoinville. Those are the memberships. I'm trying to figure how we can build community around it. And if you have better ideas, please come because this is very open. Now we figured memberships. And you can come to Bitcoinville event only if you are our neighbor. So the ticket basically to the event is within the 200,000 sats, around $200 annual membership. So which actually already pays for the ticket event. Then we have also supporter for marriage and online access to online community. And the citizen is our highest tier, where we already help you with business incorporation and provide concierge for tax relocation. So if anyone is interested in this, another project for district to be physical, we are building a first Bitcoin neighborhood in a tropical valley in Próspera, which is this modular housing project, 10 to 15 units. The price will be around 4,000 per square meter each. We are looking for Bitcoin-backed financing, that you could get Bitcoin mix with this house collateral as collateral to a mortgage to the house. We are also looking for partial ownership. So if you have 1/3 of a house, you can stay your 90 days, be tax resident, and come back to Europe when it's summer. So we will start with this once we have 15 committed neighbors. This is a project which we actually announced for the first time now. This is very soft launch. We are looking forward for your feedback to figure if this is actually what Bitcoin District should be. So the Orangeville, we also want to build the first amphitheater on the island, where we'll host Bitcoin conferences, music festivals, and whatnot. It's very close to the beach, around 200-300 meters. Beach is very shallow. There is coral reef. There is no waves. It's outside of hurricane zone. It's a very good real estate opportunity, and you can do it without selling your Bitcoin because you can put it as a collateral. So yeah, this is Bitcoin District. We are here at the booth number 7. On Sunday at 11, we organize a satellite event in Opero, barbecue brunch focused on longevity, on tax relocation, on geo-sovereignty. And you can build us in Roatan anytime. We are here to answer any questions. We are open at the bitcoindistrict.com, freshly launched website. You can figure more contact details, leave your emails, and stay in touch. Is there any questions? I know I explained everything perfectly. No doubts. All tax system is clear. Perfect. All right. Thank you, guys.